Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening to The J, and you are listening to episode 172. It is Monday, June 5th. I'm your host, Kennedy, and we also got a lot of cool stuff planned for this episode. Let's say Fast and the Furious 3. Yes, this past Sunday, our J Press team, consisting of Garland, Ray, and Karen, the three had a chance to go to Universal and check out the Fast and the Furious 3 press junket, and also check out the red carpet. So you get to listen to the roundtable interview with director Justin Lin, and also some interviews with some of the celebs coming from the red carpet. So it's all good. We got a lot of cool stuff planned for this episode of The J. Hey, baby, feel like dancing all night? That was Nicole Chirino with Now You're Free. Before that was the Taiwanese band Lady from Mars with Love Strength. Before that was Konti na Lang from the Filipino band Pedicab. And kicking off the J444 was VOX with Dancing All the Night. We'll be back with more of the J after these messages.
Hi, it's the Cine Gang,
a Filipino-American podcast.
We discuss Filipino-American life from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
So check us out at cine-gang.com.
We talk about anything and everything from our unique Pinoy perspective.
We offer Filipino word of the day.
We offer examples of Pinoy power.
We talk about poetry, food, or whatever comes to mind.
So visit us at cine-gang.com and join us.
The Cine Gang.
What is the Orange Lounge Radio To Go edition? It's all the news that video gamers really want to know about.
Yeah, it's all about the news about games that don't suck.
Well, what's a podcast? It's a recorded show that you can subscribe to, so you always get the news first.
And you don't have to have an iPod to listen to it either. Winamp, Windows Media Player, it's all good.
I'm Rob Roberts, and every week on the Orange Lounge Radio To Go edition, I'll bring you news about what's going on in the gaming world. From next-generation gaming to current classics you know and love, we'll give you the news and talk about the effects the news can have on the scene.
I'm Jamie Summers, and every week on Orange Lounge, I'll be here to give you my honest input on the news. When gaming lawsuits are the issue, or a new law is on the table that could affect the gaming world, we'll be here to help you understand how the result could affect you. Also, tune in for my advice column every week, because gamers, if you stay indoors and play video games all day long, you'll never be able to go out and get laid.
I'm Loki, and every week on Orange Lounge Radio To Go, I'll keep you posted on the latest in gaming gear, from hacks to mods to cracked to emulation. We'll be here to give you an uncensored view of what people on the internet are up to. And tune in to find out what geeks of the world install Linux on next. Join us at www.orangeloungeradio.com for all the information you need to subscribe to our show.
Click on the link that says Orange Lounge Radio To Go on the left side of the page for all the info you need.
And send us an email if you have any comments or suggestions to go at orangeloungeradio.com.
Firehouse Radio. We're not your mother.
Hey, this is Jim Getz at Firehouse Radio. If you like excitement, then you have to check out the Firehouse Radio Show. Action, talk, music, and more is what you'll hear on our weekly podcast, found exclusively on Firehouse.fm. Hey, we're firefighters doing radio right. Tell them, Chef.
What's the matter, children? It's Firehouse Radio.
Back to JN Radio with your host, Kennedy. It's a beautiful wave.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the J. And what you're about to listen to next is a roundtable that was held at Universal Studios this past Sunday, where we had several of our JN press team, Garland, Ray, and Karen, who covered the event. And in this roundtable that you're about to listen to, it's the first round of the media roundtable, where you will hear several people from different parts of the media, and including Garland of the J, interviewing the director Justin Lin. Now, some of you are wondering, who's Justin Lin? Well, if some of you may have remembered him from his film. The film was titled Better Luck Tomorrow, and it was a Asian American film that, you know, was real well received from Roger Ebert and several other critics, and definitely led him to really cool opportunities, such as directing The Fast and the Furious 3. So here's the roundtable press interview with Justin Lin.
So you did the racing thing yourself?
I did a little bit. It was fun.
Just for research, right?
Yeah, it's the perk of studio movies.
This wasn't the film we would think you would make just afterwards.
Yeah, me too.
So how did it came along?
Well, for me, it was, you know, after doing like an independent film, I have other films that I really wanted to make, and the thing that I learned was, you know, I had to find the right people in the right situation, you know, and it's always much tougher to go and make, you know, independent films to get the right pieces together, you know, and at the same time, opportunities kind of opened up for studio, you know, projects, and I felt like, you know, I wanted to learn about what that process is like, and in a way, it's kind of intertwined in the overall picture, you know, and I didn't go chase this movie, you know, the studio came to me, so that was the difference, and I really did like the people involved, and I always loved westerns, folky westerns, you know, and I thought this could be that kind of global postmodern western, and a fun popcorn movie, you know.
Also with the action and the cars.
Yeah, that's also something that, you know, I always love the chases and stuff, and I love, you know, it's hot today, but I love summer movies, you know, and it's It's always, ever since I was a kid. So I thought it'd be a fun little ride, and it has been, you know. I signed on a year ago, pretty much today, you know, and here we are, we're done. So I have to go to Tokyo and hang out there, and it was fun.
How hard is it doing a movie that it's a franchise? So do you have any rules that you couldn't bend, and how hard is it to make it interesting the third time around?
Well, this time around, this is kind of a unique situation because, you know, a lot of times when you watch sequels, it's just kind of like revisiting old friends, and then they take the structure. But this one was totally different. I know that the studio, before I came on, they tried doing it like that, bringing the characters back, but then they were trying to incorporate the idea of drifting into it, and it never felt organic, you know? So, for me, it was a great situation because I got to do whatever, you know, I wanted. There was no real boundaries except to have cars and hot chicks, pretty much.
Which is not bad, right?
What is the number one question?
I'm sorry, what was the number one question?
Did you take the car when you were teen? And another question is, what is the most difficult thing to do?
Did I choose a car when I was 10?
Yeah, when you were teen. You know, like...
Oh, when I was a teenager?
Yeah.
I didn't have enough money for cars or anything. I'm not really into cars, but what was great kind of when you do movies is you get to kind of immerse yourself, and I got to really get into the world, you know, be a fly on the wall, and I learned to really appreciate kind of the art and the craft of you know, the car culture, you know, and that's one of the things that I wanted to really make sure was, you know, I grew up and I loved basketball. I played basketball all the time, and I hate it when I watch movies where you can tell when the actors didn't know how to play, or they didn't really respect the sport, you know. So I even though I'm not really into the car culture, I wanted to make sure I respect the culture. So, you know, I had Toshi Ayama and Keiji, the real drifting, come on, and it was not easy. It's not like, hey, come on and be a part of the movie. I wanted them to be hard on me, and be, you know, because to me this is a movie and this is a great experience. To them, it's a career, you know. So I wanted to make sure I respect them, and their opinions really mattered a lot. So,
piggybacking on that, Justin, one of the criticisms for the first two films is that, in spite of them being box office successes, they weren't very realistic for the folks that are actually in the scene. How important was it to come clean on that for this film?
I think it's very important. You know, I think that's the main thing. If you're gonna make a movie like this, you know, you gotta at least respect the people who are gonna go and hopefully enjoy and watch these movies. And at the same time, I do feel like we're at an age right now where a lot of times this, you know, CG and technology is so it's growing so fast that some people have been taken for granted. You know, and when I don't know, for me personally, when I watch like good car chase movies and stuff like that, I always end up going back to Bullet, you know, and the older movies, because they didn't have the effects. You know, they kind of had to get whatever they could get, and there was a rawness, and there was like a real sense of danger that the car could flip at any point, and that's something I wanted to bring to this franchise, and that was definitely a very priority, very high priority.
So how heavily did you have to rely on CG, and when you got to the point that you knew that it wasn't possible to do that stunt without being too dangerous for the driver?
Well, that was the thing. If it was impossible, then I wouldn't do it. You know, and that was, you know, Terry Leonard, Reese, and the stunt team and everything. I wanted to make sure there's sometimes unique effects, but the idea is to aesthetically or stylistically try to construct it so that it's not there to show off. Like, hey, the camera can go underneath the car and through the window. You know, because to me, subconsciously, you just know that, oh, they're on the green screen or something. And so I wanted to make sure that all the stunts that were pulled in this movie, it was real. And, you know, an example was there's like these garages, they have those ramps that go up, those circular ramps. And I remember I asked Toshi, I said, is it possible for you to drift up? It'd be really cool if you drift up. And he's like, technically it's possible. And, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Let's, if that's good enough, you know, I don't want to crash 10 cars. Let's maybe build a railing or something. And then Reese came up and said, I can do it. And I said, oh, I know you can do it, but, I don't want to wreck too many cars doing this. He's like, I can do it, just give me a shot. And I said, okay, you get one shot. He just lifted it right up. And I couldn't believe it. The clearance was maybe about 6 inches to a foot on each side. It was pretty unbelievable. But once that happened, I was like, wow. And then they upped everyone's game, and it became a lot of fun. The camera guys were like, whoa. So the precision that they brought to the project allowed everybody else to up their games, and we just started having fun.
The idea of drifting is a real step forward in terms of street racing. That's what we were talking about. Do you think that is going to get something that people want to be trying with their own cars?
I think it already is catching on. It's fun. I mean, when you go in there and it's amazing. From far away, you look at it, it's very graceful, but when you're in there, it's this burnt rubber just, tilting. I remember the first time I forgot to close the window all the way. The rubber was tilting me in the face and stuff. And, it is in the basketball term, that's the only way I can kind of look at it. It's kind of like the triangle offense that the Lakers, Phil Jackson run. It's kind of like letting go and trusting your gut, but at the same time you have to have control and it's balance at all times.
It's not just to hit the pedal and
it's not
as fast as you can.
Yeah, it's not about that. So there's definitely a craft art to it.
When you talk about the DVD, there's a special DVD release coming up even before the movie. So it's obviously a big part of this franchise.
Yeah, well, I think these are things that these are movies that I think people watch and they enjoy it, and at the same time they want to see, how do they do that? And so we made sure that we had crews out all the time. I mean, we didn't just have the film crew, but we had video crews. We had so many crews with us to document it so that we could kind of share our experience, And I think, they're definitely taking good care of the whole home video release of it. And also we have this HD DVD coming out, and it's got some fun options on there that I'm actually kind of excited to see.
So people seem like you now today.
I think in China you can, but
a couple of days it's coming up. But what is left then for the actual DVD for the Tokyo Drift?
Well, I think there's a lot of behind the scenes, and I think for people who really love cars, we had a huge warehouse, and every car that the characters drive, we had about 6 or 7, I believe, sometimes 8, and some of them were specially modified for certain stunts and stuff, and we made sure we documented everything so that if you're like, oh wow, how did they do that? What hits did they use? We have all that, for you to share.
So roughly, how many cars did you wreck?
Oh man, I think we wrecked every car pretty much, and we had to have body kits to read. But that was part of the idea, The idea was I wanted the rough and tough and kind of raw. So we were going to wreck.
Was it hard on the first one? Like as a guy totaling the first car?
It's funny. Toshi, I would just look over at him and he'd be like, because we had like this legendary kind of Soviet Skyline engine, and when we were totaling that car, and that was a race to total that car. And I think that one we wrecked 6 cars for the race, and I could just see the pain in his face because for someone in the drift world, that's like the prize car, That car's not cheap either, and for me, it didn't really hit me until we were going on to do some green screen stuff, and I wanted this one angle, and I told the crew, I said, I need the angle of the camera right here, and they're like, oh, no problem. And I remember I had to go to the restroom, and I walked outside, and I just see them like, they're just cutting the car in half with 67 Mustang. I'm like, oh, that definitely hurt.
In terms of street racing, what do you think draws kids to try and mimic what they see in maybe the screen and all that culture that has been around? Also in Portugal we had a lot of crashes and accidents, and basically what do you think people are drawn to?
The one thing about it that when I did the research and stuff, and I realized this is kind of a self-expression, it's an expression of oneself. Drifting is not even about who wins or loses, it's about style. and who you are kind of in a way extends yourself all the way to how you drift. You know, and there's no real right way or wrong way of doing something. So that's kind of the unique, that's something that's very different from like a straight out quarter-mile race. And even, you know, the way they, especially in Tokyo, when you look at the cars, it's weird, you know. It's like I loved it when I was there. It was just a bunch of, you know, it was a society where everybody kind of respects each other, but at the same time, like there's like a layer of, I don't know what it is, maybe repression that comes out in these like real like strong expressions. And these cars, some of them, I look at it, I'm like, well, this is way too much even for, you know, for a movie. This would be, if I put this into the movie, people would say, oh man, you're trying too hard. You know, and it was very interesting, and that gave me the idea of how, like, you know, when we were designing these cars, really come from the character, really kind of talk about the character and everything, that the car, the kits, the way it looks, the tires, and the rims, everything. We made sure that it was coming from internally from the individual.
It's like the figure skating of racing, isn't it?
Very much so. I'm sure you'll see later today.
What is the personality of a drifter racer? What does it take?
It's very interesting, you know, and everyone that I've met, they're very laid back, I think, because you kind of have to have this kind of tenacity of, like, I'm going to go for it and have the guts and the balls to do it. But at the same time, you know, it's not about, if that's the way you're going to spin out every time. So it's about kind of relaxing at the same time. So actually, I had a great time with all the drivers. Even when I was doing the research, I just hang out with these guys, and you know, all they wanted was getting a set of tires just so they can go and drift. And I love that. It was kind of like, it reminds me of surfers growing up. You know, they're just kind of like there, hanging out all day, waiting for the right wave. You know, and it was very similar.
In terms of scale, profile, and budget, this film is a big departure from your previous 3 films. What's been the biggest difference this experience for you?
Well, it's a huge corporation I'm dealing with, and making a studio movie it's a whole different process than doing independent films, you know. At the same time, as much as it's a partner, because at the end of the day, you're working with people, you're trying to tell a story. Definitely just a lot more people you have to communicate and win over, and you know, it's not just, you know, thinking on your credit card and just doing everything, getting multiple people and working on it together. You know, there's a lot at stake, and there's a lot of people whose livelihood depend on it. So you have to convey any kind of idea and you're passionate about. You have to convince everybody. You know.
What is the idea of drifting, the concept that's originated in Japan, I think?
Yeah, it originated in backwoods, and it was very fascinating when I talked to people. It was just a bunch of kind of these working class kids, and they had really nothing to do, but they saw all these winding roads, and they loved cars, and so they found that if you take a rear wheel drive and you just pull the e-brake or something, it spins the back, and it became this car, and they just kind of go down, and they race down, and they figure the best way is just to kind of almost slalom down, and the more they did it, the more they realized, wow, it's not even the race itself, it's just kind of like how they were able to kind of control and let the car go and glide. And that's what people enjoy, and that became kind of the art, and that's how it started.
But they also have the pink slip thing, and
not really. When I know sometimes, you know, when I talk to them, they didn't really do too much of you know, my car versus your car. You know, just more. It really, again, it's kind of more like surfers. You know, this person had a personality and attitude, and that became that's how it came about.
So for a kid that wants to get into this drifting, how much do you think it will have to put together to get a nice car like this?
It depends. You can get like an older car with a rear wheel and everything, but it's not. I don't think it's cheap. You know, I mean, I went on these things and it's like you go around 7 times and the tires are done. You know, 50 a set of tires. You know.
how much do you think are we talking about?
I don't know the specifics, but I remember asking the kids in Tokyo, I said, how do you do it, you know? And they said all they do is they work, get enough money to buy the tires and stuff. And so it was like, it literally was their livelihood. I don't know the exact amount. So.
Are you doing the old boy remake after this?
I'm working.
Is it hard to translate something that? All right. Is it hard to translate something that hard for American audiences?
Well, I love the theme and I love kind of the art, so it really is just, it comes from the character, you know, and I have some ideas for it, and it's definitely not an easy task, you know, but I love what the theme of it and what it's trying to explore, so I'm still very early on right now, and it's one of those journeys that I want to jump on and take and see what happens. Hopefully we get to make it, you know, but we're not making it tomorrow, we're not making it next year, I don't know, you know, so hopefully something will come of it, but I really do love it.
I'd imagine that the first thing you see in this movie would be a quote saying, like, don't try this or with your father's car.
Yeah, it actually, the title actually drifts in, tells you that.
And what about you in terms of contract type? Have you signed already for the fourth one?
It's been a good couple weeks of a lot of really great projects coming. I'm already shooting my independent film right now. I'm shooting in 6 weeks, so I'm ready to go back and making a no budget movie. So. Low budget. It's not hard. It keeps me sane, I think. It's a good balance.
What would you all-time 3 favorite movies on the internet?
All-time? I love the Tommy Boy. Holy shnikes edition. I love the Tucker DVD, and I don't know. I watch a lot, but those are 2 that I tend to pull up to.
Is it correct that you're doing a version of Old Boy?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. I'm working on it, and it's one of the you know, I think a lot of times doing studio movies, sometimes you get to make kind of, you find projects that are just fun, and this is one of them, and it's just been unbelievable. Or I have small passion projects that I just want to make under the right conditions, and Old Boy just kind of falls in between. If you want to keep working on it, hopefully you get the right people and the right energy, so that it's made the right intentions, and hopefully the end product is not something that doesn't veer away. You know, that's the challenge, especially when the studio's involved, and people involved. You just want to, you got to take a lot of care, and in a way, writing and developing is almost just a fraction of that whole journey.
Part of the reason why drifting's been catching on in the United States is through the Japanese animation Initial D. Has that influenced your filmmaking for this film at all?
Initial D was fun, and I think, you know, Keiji was a big part of creating that, you know. But you know, the cartoon and the anime, it was a lot of fun, you know. It was very kind of, in a way, they were able to be instructional stuff. But I don't think it was, you know, for me it was great, because as a filmmaker to go in and to see, when you start seeing car drift, you know, I realized there are a lot of things visually that hasn't been explored, that hasn't been shot, so it was great to kind of go in there. But seeing the cartoon, I mean, obviously they had limitations in how they had to do it, but it was definitely fun. And I talked to Keiji, and I think he kind of, I think they made a feature of it, and he wasn't a part of that. But yeah, it was kind of fun watching the cartoon and stuff. But I know that's, for a lot of people, that's kind of the Bible of drifting, you know. But I had fun watching the anime or whatever.
Are you a fan of drifting now?
I like watching it from afar. I don't like to be. I don't have like the rubber hitting my face. No, it's fun. You guys should
maybe play in the video games.
No, I'd rather be in a real car, to be honest.
Well, thank you guys.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
And that was the press roundtable interview with director Justin Lin. Really cool roundtable, really cool questions asked, and right after the roundtable, the press, well, one member of the press was able to have the opportunity to ride a drift car for about 20 seconds with a professional drifter. Garland of the J was able to, well, actually both Garland and Ray had opportunities to ride a drift car, and here's Garland's experience.
This is Garland with the ENT in a drift car right now, and we're about to head around the track, and I will be leaving this recorder on during the duration, which hopefully isn't going to be long. That was great. Guy, thank you.
Yeah,
Come on,
no problem. Thank you.
Garland G with JN, signing out.
Oh, look at that. He was calm as usual. Anyway, we'll be back with more of the Fast and the Furious 3 coverage in Los Angeles at Universal Studios. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back after these messages.
Come and meet the voices behind your favorite anime characters at Anime Next, the next evolution of anime conventions. See the latest anime videos, hear news about your favorite titles, and play your favorite games. All at Anime Next in Secaucus, New Jersey, just minutes from New York City. Check us out on the web at www.animenext.org. Anime Next, the next evolution of anime conventions.
Anime Next.
There was a Filipino guy gets stopped by immigration at the airport. So the immigration tells him, use the words chicken, nut, and bread in a sentence. So the Filipino looks around, it's like panicking. Oh, but then he puts a bag over a woman's head and yells, chicken at bread! Chicken at bread!
Oh my god. For more corny jokes and Pinoy life stories from 3 Filipino sisters, check out the Tarlets, podcasting at tarlets.net.
Hello JN fans, this is Kumiko Kato. Please check out my website at www.kumikokato.com. And now, back to JN Radio.
Welcome back to the J, and in our never-ending campaign to bring the Voltus 5 voice actors to the United States to a convention, it is time for the Voltus 5 English Dub Minute.
Cables to BBC London have just been cut off. Over 3 million people have perished in separate bombings in Italy. The city of Buenos Aires is being razed to the ground. The end is near. I've got to go off the air now before the building gets... Ah!
There must be something we can do.
And it's happening everywhere around the world.
That's not possible.
Dr. Smith, will you please tell us where we're heading for?
We're not trying to escape. We shall protect the Earth, if that's the last thing we ever do. In this island installation is a closely guarded ultimate weapon. Observe carefully.
What weapon?
Your missing father, Dr. Armstrong, Dr. Smith, and I have long expected this day of the Bosanian Empire conquest, the very reason this island installation was conceived.
And that was our Voltus 5 English Dub Minute! It's a YouTube Minute featuring What's Left of Me.
I don't want to waste another day stuck in the shadow of my mistake. Yeah, 'cause I want you and I feel you crawling underneath my skin. Girl, I'm burning, find a place I've never been.
I've been dying inside. So I can't do it that well, but check out MMDJ YouTube, and this guy is just awesome. Let me go ahead and play a clip of him playing the song, as he just learned it really quickly, and did it really well too. And the guy can sing. Watch my life pass me by in the rearview mirror. Picture frozen in time. I'll be coming clearer. I don't wanna waste another day stuck in the shadow of my mistakes. 'Cause I want you and I need you with happiness. I don't know that part. Picture, I've been dying, I've been dying, I've been dying inside. Little by little, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Yeah, won't you take what's left? Will you take what's left of me? Thoughts are running in my mind. I've been dying inside. Little by little, little by little. Watch my life pass me by. Watch my life pass me by. In the rearview mirror, pictures frozen in time. I'll be coming clearer. DJ, man, that guy was awesome. So that was our YouTube Minute. And now we return back to our Fast and the Furious 3 coverage in Los Angeles at Universal Studios with Garland, Ray, and Karen.
This is a JANT podcast, broadcasting live from the
Universal Studios backlot.
From the Universal Studios backlot. We're here for the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift press junket. I'm Garland G. I'm here with
Karen No.
Ray Warner.
And we're just going to talk about what's been going on today. Earlier today we showed up in the morning, they fed us breakfast, and I got to have a roundtable interview with Justin Lin, which was okay, I suppose. Roundtable interviews always have a problem where you have like 10 different reporters asking different questions, and there's no real actual flow to any of the questions. So after that, we got to experience some drifting out in this back lot, and let's see what have we experienced today?
From what I've overheard from the other press people around here, they don't seem to know what drifting is, and it's a sad story. Some guys say, oh yes, there are these race cars. No dude, they're not race cars. They're just regular standard cars that we get modified. They're not F-150 cars. There's some sort of strange perception that these are special cars and they're made only differently somewhere else off the country. No, not at all. It's just new engines, body kits, specs and modifications done by your specially trained mechanic.
And especially tires. You gotta have the special tires.
Oh yeah, there's so much tires burning around here.
Ray and I actually got to experience being in one of the drift cars, and Ray, what was your experience with that?
Well, after watching all of the cars prep and practice, I noticed a couple of them were having pretty crappy drivers who would actually hit the brakes too hard and stop their cars, but I was fortunate enough to be able to ride the reddish color Viper, and we'll research who the driver is later. But he told me that he had been driving for a number of years now, maybe about 3 or 4 professionally, and had actually driven the Evo as well as a couple others for the movie. But the reason why I specifically hunted down to find this one was on his one of his initial runs, he tore out and blew off the hood of his car as well, and so I decided this has got to be the guy I'm going to ride with. So the experience itself was pretty exhilarating as we got in and had to wear a, unfortunately, really bulky helmet, which was for our protection. But going through, asking a couple questions and actual drift, it's amazing to see that at whatever speeds we were going at, which were significantly fast, drifting and seeing the back tires and then the front tires of the tandem car that was riding with us. So definitely worthwhile. I'm not sure how much of a hype I had going into it, but for the most part, an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, I got to ride in the Sylvia with Dai. He's one of the drifters from Japan, and he's really good. I expected to go into this thing and then just be bounced around the interior of the car and come out nauseous, but the driver was really good. The ride was really smooth, and it was a good experience. Smoothness just overwhelmed me, but I really don't show my emotions much, so no one knows anything about that. But so Ray and I got to ride in a drift car, and we're sitting down at lunch now, just taking in the atmosphere. There's a lot of burnt rubber in the air, and it's getting on everything. And
that's secondhand.
So later on today, we'll be at the red carpet for the sneak preview for celebrities, and we'll be getting more interviews and sound clips for you there. So podcast out.
And then around 3 o'clock, it was time for the red carpet press event, where a lot of press get together and take their photos and interview the celebs walking through the red carpet as they go in to see the film, Fast and the Furious 3. So here are a few of the interviews on the red carpet with a few celebs before they went in to watch the film, Fast and Furious 3.
This is Jay with Perry Shen. Yeah, we have a long history.
Yeah.
What brings you out to the carpet today?
This is like a movie being shown, and they're giving away free food.
Really? Free food?
No, it's the whole cast from, we worked with Justin Lin from Better Luck Tomorrow, and I was one of the actors there, and the movie came out like literally, I think, 3 years ago to the day, April 11th, 2003, and now we're in June, and it's really cool. It's like a graduation for him, being to debut like full-blown mainstream picture, and the red carpet is so long I can't even see the end of it. I mean, our red carpet was literally from like here and 3 steps to the left, and it's just it's really cool to see, and we're so proud of it.
This next question, they probably haven't asked you this, but
all right.
I've read your blog. How is the box going, the cardboard box?
The cardboard box that I made for my 14-month-old daughter, it's really tricked out. You would like hanging out in it. It's got a sunroof, and there's like a little rope that you pull, and it just pops open, and it's got a little drawbridge, and so basically it's everything I wanted. So my daughter gets the best.
You mentioned in your blog that you have some downtime now. What are you doing with your downtime?
Pretty much just sort of promoting projects that came out last year. Like I did this movie called Hatchet that sort of went to Tribeca this year, and I did a lot of great buzz, and a lot of studios are interested. And then a movie that I did for Bai Ling and Faye Dunaway called The Gene Generation that will be a start of promoting soon too. So it's mostly project promotion. So this next year I'll do a project, and then next year do promotion for that. So I guess that's the way things work.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
You can learn more about Perry Shen at www.perryshen.com, or you can check out his blog at www.sanga.com/perryshen. This is J.N. speaking with Roger Fan. We spoke with Perry Shen earlier today. He said this is like a Better Luck Tomorrow reunion. How would you characterize this?
It's just good. I mean, it's been 5 years ago since Better Luck Tomorrow, and it's good to see someone like Justin who succeeded at the level that he has to become a huge director in Hollywood and to bring as many people from Better Luck Tomorrow on his journey. So, all the actors, producers, writers, directors, everyone's a part, and that's a rare quality in Hollywood, so.
Okay. What kind of projects are you working on currently?
I'm doing a movie in about 5 days with the producer of Brick, Mark Mathis. It's a good friend of mine, Gene Reed's directing a movie called The Trouble with Romance. And then I'm going to do the follow-up of Better Luck Tomorrow in about a month called Finishing the Game with Justin. So.
That sounds great. Thank you for taking the time out to talk with us.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Take care.
Hello.
Hi, this is J.N. speaking with Kyla Yu. You have a part in this movie. You act, you sing, you model. What can't you do?
I don't know how that's the question. I'm not very good at cooking, but I'm trying to learn.
We heard recently you had a gig on Memorial Day up in NorCal.
Oh yeah, it's opening for Christina Milian and Avery. So it's a really good show.
That's good to hear. What projects do you have in the works now?
Right now I'm working on my album, so it should be coming out summertime. Yeah.
Thank you for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
This is J.N. speaking with John Cho. What brings you out to the carpet today?
I was gonna go to Rubio's, and I saw the commotion, decided to see what was going on.
Okay. Perry Shen earlier characterized this as kind of like a Better Luck Tomorrow reunion. How do you feel about all this?
How do I feel about the reunion?
Yeah.
That's great. These are good fellas, and I'm happy to see them, especially in a high intensity atmosphere like this.
What projects do you have in the works right now?
I got a show on NBC this fall called The Singles Table, and we're trying to make Harold and Kumar Part 2, and that's going to be happening. And what else? I don't know. I made a Greg Araki movie called Smiley Face coming out with Anna Faris, and that's about it. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Busy.
Thank you so much for talking with us.
Not at all.
This is Garland G with the last podcast of the day for the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift premiere. And I just gotta say today was really hot. What about you, Ray?
I'd have to agree. It was really, really hot.
Karen?
Caliente.
Today was really hot. We spent most of it outdoors, but luckily, wear their sunblock. Luckily, they gave us passes to the park, to Universal Studios. So during our downtime, we got to ride the tram, and after the whole
premiere of the new Fast and the Furious exhibit as part of the tram ride.
Yeah, like
Video tours, baby. Video tours.
yeah, on the tram ride, they unveiled a new Fast and the Furious exhibit, and let's see, what else did we do today? On the red carpet, we met a lot of celebrities, and let's see. I don't have a favorite interview. Oh, my favorite interview was Perry Shen, because he remembered J.N. and that's very close to my heart, and I it's very heartfelt. I love that.
Ray, favorite interviewee? Go.
I'd have to say me finally telling Aiko Tanaka to approve me for MySpace. So Aiko and Kyla and Cool. I didn't really ask anybody else any questions. Recognizing MC Hammer. Telling him that Hammer don't hurt us. What's your carry?
What's your favorite moment of the day?
Oh, the Japanese.
Oh, moment? Well, I think it's really interesting that Joncho likes, what's that place with tacos? Rubio's.
Rubio's.
Apparently he likes their fish tacos too.
Yes. Fish tacos are good.
Favorite event on the red carpet? Maybe it was when Bow Wow just all of a sudden ran up and he was being all manic about it because he just couldn't stand still for one photo for everybody.
Oh, here you go, Dennis. Favorite event on the red carpet was sitting next to Brazil and France and having them ask people how cars are extensions of their male genitalia, or what's the most fast or furious thing they've ever done.
It was a big step up because they were going to ask, oh yes, what gets you really wet in the car?
Yes, Brazilian and French press are kind of out there. So that pretty much wraps up our day for the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift premiere. This is Garland signing off for Giant. Everybody loves happy endings.
And that was awesome coverage from Garland, Ray, and Karen. Thank you guys for bearing the heat while I stayed here in this well air-conditioned room. Anyway, guys, great job. And we're going to go ahead and end the episode with Sold Out with Iruka.
Visit Giant on the web at www.nt2099.com/J-ENT and email Giant Radio at nt2099@gmail.com. See you next time.
Harmonia and his help the universe. He preached Sarah wish he on Emma yes that's it. He's not easy.